Now is former New York City Republican mayoral candidate and Guardian Angels founder Curtis Sliwa. Curtis, it's always good to see you, and I'm glad that we're having a chance to catch up after we saw what happened with the governor's race here in New York. I was really surprised. I mean, obviously it was a close race, and there was a chance for Zeldin to flip this state, but he couldn't do it. And there are a lot of actually angry voters that I'm speaking to on the ground that are saying, well, now we're just going to get the same old from Kathy Hochul, which is basically no reaction to, or not a significant reaction to, the crime that we're dealing with.
Well, let me remind you that before Kathy Hochul became governor, Andrew Cuomo told Republicans and conservatives, if you don't like it here in New York, leave, go to Florida.
And they did.
Kathy Hochul, when she became governor, said the same thing. And they've left in droves, and they will continue to leave, not only from New York, but New Jersey and Pennsylvania and Connecticut. That may well be why DeSantis won by such a plurality of 20%. It's that he's getting all these Republicans and conservatives who have been told, join the exodus, and it's because of crime. Just yesterday, a paraplegic young man in a wheelchair in front of Bergdorf Goodman, right on Fifth Avenue, a stone's throw from St. Patrick's Cathedral. They recently had a drive-by shooting right outside. Gets robbed of his phone, and the guy threatens to kill him. The guy escapes, no police, no security. Now, if you're a tourist out there and you want to come after Thanksgiving, you know, for Christmas, because Saks is going to be lit up like a Christmas tree across the street at Rockefeller Center, you're going to say it's not worth the risk. People are getting robbed right on Fifth Avenue, right in Times Square, the gateway to the world. And this mayor, Eric Adams, the swagger man who has no plan when it comes to crime, just keeps pointing fingers to everyone else. It's time that he buckles down. His first year has been a disaster. He's actually been worse than, believe it or not, Bill de Blasio was in 8 years when it comes to stopping crime in New York City. One
of the problems is what you mentioned, just happening on the streets in even some of the very affluent areas. But of course, subway crime is a huge issue too. And Mayor Adams has gotten up to the podium and he has told us that you have to look at subway crime in context of, you know, the millions of riders who are on the subway, thereby trying to diminish the impact of it. But I know so many people who live here, regardless of that, who just say, I can't go down in the subway. I'm terrified. That's
what an insult to all the strap hangers. Yeah, what an insult to everybody who takes the subways. They don't have the benefit of Eric Adams, who travels with 10 armed police officers the few times he goes on the subway. The perception, Eric Adams, is real. And it's not just based on the 5 o'clock news and all the video we see. People are terrified. And I'll tell you this much. If we want these office towers filled up because they're only 50% occupied, we've got to make the subway safe. Right. Women are the predominant number of workers. They go to restaurants and bars and they spend money at nightlife. They're not going. So, of course, Eric Adams can say this. She's macho, maniacal, tough guy. But without women, the city can never recover. And we are making it very inhospitable. The women, to the elderly, the women, the children, the infirm. No, we got to put a complete priority on making the streets and subways safe. And then business will return. The city can once again be resurrected. Without that, it'll never happen.
Well, they're going to have to focus, Curtis, because as you and I know, a lot of people left during the pandemic and even after, and now you're going to have people continuing to leave because, you know, they just feel if nothing changes, they can't live here anymore. Quality of life is too important. Curtis, good to see you. Thank you so much.
Oh, anytime.
All right, addressing the future.